it's Jeroslyn Jovan, and this is Hip Hop and Enterprise. Today, I get a chance to speak with a decorated, self-made woman who wears many hats, including published author, renowned relationship expert, one of the most sought-after dentists in the country, as well as one of the most standout stars on Bravo's hit series, Married to Medicine, the one, the only, Dr. Heavenly. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited going into this next season. I've been watching the show since I caught up late. I started season 2, but I went back and I watched season 1. I was like, oh, I've been hooked ever since. Yeah.
Well, great. It's always good to have somebody interviews that actually watches the show. So that's important for me.
Yeah, it was the perfect combination of just womanhood, Black womanhood, and career. And for me, you know, as a young woman, I haven't started my family yet, but watching you ladies and seeing you manage it all, it's crazy, but I hadn't really had that representation in that way, because you guys are just distinguished medical professionals. So you don't never really get a chance to see the day-to-day of the life of a Black female doctor. So that's what I loved about it.
Right.
So you're going into season 9. How does that feel?
It feels wonderful. The time kind of went by very quickly. You know, my daughter was 7 years old when we started, and now she's almost 17. So it's very interesting to watch your kids grow up on TV, and it's just been amazing. I have no regrets.
Yes, I think us seeing Laura grow up on the show is one of the biggest reminders, like, oh, you getting old. Because she was just a little thing when the show started, and now just seeing her blossom into a beautiful young woman with, you know, well, I mean, she's always kind of been vocal with sharing her very well-worded opinions, even at 7. But just now seeing her, and I know this season you're preparing to see her go off to college. So how does that feel?
Well, this year going in, she's a senior in high school. So she has to do a senior year, and then next year she goes off to college, yes. But she wants to go to my alma mater, which that's what I told you.
That's amazing. Okay. All right. Do you feel like, I mean, we've watched you now going into 9 seasons. Do you feel like you've changed over the years on the show?
I think that, yeah, I've definitely grown. As far as a personality, no, my personality is still the same. I'm still real. I'm still opinionated. I'm still going to give you a truth teller. But I think I've grown in a sense that I understand. It's something about seeing yourself on TV and how you come off. It's definitely, I think everybody should do it. It's kind of therapy for you.
Ooh, I don't know if I can handle that pressure, because, you know, now you got the whole world. How do you handle that?
Do you want me to be honest? I say I've had a lot of accomplishments in my life. If my family's okay, my man love me, the world. Can I cuss?
No, we'll cut that out though.
Okay, well, I mean, you know, you understand what I'm saying. I do value the opinion of other people, but I feel like my opinion is right. I do have compassion. I do give back. I do everything I can. But at the end of the day, you've never walked my shoes. You've never probably accomplished the things that I have. So I'm coming from a different point of view than a lot of people. But I think people can understand my side, if you will.
Right. Yeah, and you do a good job at taking accountability. And I mean, just overall from your answer to that, it really says to me, know yourself. You know, if you know yourself, when the world comes and tries to tell you who you are, if you let it affect you, it's because you're still struggling to figure out who you are.
Absolutely. I think that's true.
That's powerful. So now coming into the show 10 years ago, how did you feel about, you know, going into it and sharing so much of your work and at home life?
Well, you know, initially I had a lot of reservations. The first year, I was thinking, you know, I was running 9 practices. I had 8 doctors working for me, hygienists. I just did not know. The only thing I knew about reality TV was Nene Leakes. So it wasn't a good, you know, it was a negative connotation when it came, no shade to her, but it was a negative connotation with reality TV, and I didn't know how it would affect my business, right? So my husband actually told me I should do it. And you'll be surprised at that, because he said, Heavenly, I think you have thick skin, you got a quick-witted mouth, I think you'd be good at it, right? And at the end of the day, daddy working. So even if it didn't work out, my bills would be paid. That's how I felt about it, like daddy working. So, but it has been amazing for business. It has been amazing for just every aspect of life. Even my marriage, I can see the love, wow, on TV that we have for each other, the respect that we have for each other. That, no shade to anybody, I don't think anybody has shown that much love and respect on a TV show. And that's how we really are, and I appreciate it. My kids are doing well. You show the ups and downs with the relationships with the girls, but at the end of the day, that's minuscule. My family is good, God family, and then everything else.
Right. And I mean, over the years, we haven't seen those kind of issues at home, at your house. I mean, we might see your husband have to, tell you to apologize.
He does that a couple of times this season. I ain't giving nothing away.
But you two are a team. And absolutely. He's so chill. I'm close to getting married, and I see a lot of myself when I watch you on the screen, and I see a lot of my soon-to-be husband and your husband, because it's such a good balance for those of us that, we're strong, we're opinionated, we're not afraid to express those moments and those feelings. But sometimes you just, your partner, your man can kind of help reel you back in and say there was a better way you could have said that or went about that. And I'll listen to you because I love you.
and there was one scene I can remember off my head when I was arguing with, I think it was Simone, and daddy said, stop talking. I think that's sexy. Like if if I can get that to the man, I respect him. He is the king of my house. He told me to stop talking, and what did I do?
You stopped talking.
I surely did.
Yes, it's and even when you go into your moments of your relationship expert hat and giving that advice, whether it be on the show or even on social media, you always talk about, knowing when to let your husband lead. As a Absolutely. Self-made woman, on top of that, like you have employees, you have people answering to you, but you can still acknowledge when, and in a partnership, as like a marriage, when you gotta give or take.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so now, speaking of your business, what I like from the show from early on, like I said, it's always shown you all's careers and how hard you work as doctors. But of course, with it being reality television, we want to see the drama, and oftentimes the drama can overshadow the accolades. And you mentioned it too. See, you were already running 9 practices. You had employees. You're a very established medical professional. From your start in dentistry, which we got to see in some early seasons where you kind of told your life story. Did you see yourself creating a business empire in the field of dentistry?
Yes, I did. I always had a plan. I think that millionaires think in terms of decades. I'm a firm believer in vision boards and having a plan. And I had a plan since undergrad, how to get a man. I mean, every aspect of my life, I wrote it down. And it may sound crazy, but I meditated on it. I had it on my refrigerator, what type of man I wanted, what type of house I wanted, what I wanted to do for my career very early on, and exit strategies as well.
In that, writing that all down, did you feel like that was a spiritual guidance? Where did that inspiration come from?
Absolutely. If you know me, you know I'm spiritual. And the Bible says, write it down, take a picture. Things that you say over and over again have power. So I speak things into existence. I talk about that over and over again. You speak life into your family, into your husband. Even if he isn't perfect, you lift him up. You lift it up your children, and I think that that's very important to do. My mom did it for me. My mom told me at an early age I was going to be a doctor. She told me that I was smart, and I believed her.
Wow. And that word believe, key word.
That's it.
That's it. You got to. And what would you say has been the main ingredient to the secret of your success?
The main ingredient is perseverance. Like, they asked me about Candy in an interview. I don't even know her like that, but I know she got the secret. So it comes with consistency, discipline, perseverance. Somebody can tell you no over and over again. You have confidence in yourself, and you know your self-worth. It's not a secret sauce. The sauce is out there. I don't know why everybody does not use it. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to lose probably more than you win. But at the end of the day, you're winning in the end. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yep, it's all a part of the journey. And with your work and service as a relationship expert, when in your life did you start to see yourself as a relationship expert and say, like, you know what, I can help other couples?
Jeroslyn, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I said I was a relationship expert, right? I spoke it. People started calling me on Fox News just because I said it. I ain't had no accolades or anything. I said I was a relationship expert, right? And now you saying it because I said it. But I did go and get, because you know, Dr. Jackie didn't like a little certification. So I went back and got a certification, but the certification is the 25 years I've been married. And I've been with the same man about 28, 29 years. So trial and error, been in, you know, relationships, understand, and then I'm just smart. I mean, to be honest.
No, I know, I love you. It's just your delivery, like you're just straight. Like you can't help but laugh because you are dead serious, and I love it. Like you got no choice but to respect it because it's true.
I mean, if it wasn't, I would say it.
Right. And so, you know, as someone who, like you said, 25 years of marriage, you certified too. So Dr. Jackie couldn't say nothing. What would you say is one of the common areas where you see couples struggle?
You know what? And I said this over and over again, it's the respect thing. And I don't think people realize it until they were on TV, when certain people, you know, cuss their husbands out or told them to eat a biscuit or even expose their innermost secrets on TV. And then got mad at me for vlogging about it. Did you watch the first episode?
Not this season.
Okay, so they sent out this first episode to E! Online. I thought maybe you saw it. Okay. But mad at me, taking my relationship advice, using it, not paying me, and then get mad at me when they used it. Respect. The first thing is a lot of people don't pray together. When I said that was so foreign to them, I said, do y'all even pray together? They never even thought of that. Like, wow, take my advice. First, get on your knees and ask God to come intervene with all of this. Secondly, you gotta respect them. If you don't respect them, why you with them? If you can't allow them to lead, if you don't trust them to lead.
Yeah.
And that's why I go wrong, because I keep saying my marriage is perfect. Is it perfect? Will I continue to speak that into it? Leave me alone, because I'm gonna always uplift my marriage. If you're not doing the same, that's your fault.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, you are preaching to the choir. Even just recently, the other day, my fiance and I, it wasn't even a situation with us, it was another person, but because I reacted and I didn't listen and let him lead, literally the same word he said, he was like, you don't know how to let people lead. And I was just like, dang, he's right. You know, because had I just allowed him to just handle that situation, he handles situations way better than I do, it wouldn't have turned to what it turned into. And he was right. And it goes back to even what you said, respect. I should have just even had respect to trust him leading that situation.
But don't beat yourself up too bad. We bosses, it's hard to do sometimes. You know what I mean? As a Black woman and what we have to go through and to get where we're going, we have to have that A-type personality. We have to have that boss mentality. So sometimes it's difficult to pull it back in certain situations.
Yeah, and it was right. And it was a situation that kind of tied in with race and just me as a Black woman. And my fiance, he's Puerto Rican and German. So I'm just coming from as a Black woman, like, you know, but so it's just,
that's my problem too, girl. I get it.
Yeah, but you know, you touched on it because I was going to ask about the teasers that are saying that some of your, you know, co-stars, they're offended by some of the stuff that you posted on social media. And I mean, I know you explained your stance on it, but just after that experience, do you feel, you know, did it make you want to change anything about your social media?
No. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you go back and look at my YouTube where those videos are, you will see that you only got an excerpt, right? If you go back and you look at the reunion last year, right? Dr. Contessa and her husband were almost going through a divorce. She filed for divorce. She sat there and said nothing. I wanted to sit there and cry, right? I wanted to cry because it's almost like she didn't want to say anything and she allowed Quad to be her voice, correct? So I'm your ride or die friend to come up and pull up in a U-Haul, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's the kind of person I am, right?
Yeah.
For her to come on this season, take an excerpt from my thing, when I was defending her, they asked me on my YouTube, was she being abused? I dispelled that and said, verbally, yes, they showed it on TV. I said, emotionally, yes, they showed, the man showed his text messages from another woman on TV. I said, but not physically. Hell, I don't know. But I'm saying, I said in a joking way, she probably whipped his ass because she could bench 350. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was dispelling that. So to take that excerpt, and I've been doing my YouTube for 5 years, right? For y'all to go back and pick and choose little segments of what I said and put it all together, that hurt my heart because I really thought that girl was my damn friend. And that ain't what you do to somebody who's there for you. And I know it was fake, and I'm gonna keep going. And it was a storyline. She was at my daughter's birthday party 2 weeks before, telling me she loved me, kissed me on my cheek. Right. This some fake shit. Somebody said she was fake, phony, and fraud. Yeah. It hurt me to my heart because that was my friend. Ride or die, I would have gave her my left lung.
And do you feel like the show, because you ladies really know each other. Like a lot of you have known each other. Right.
I know Simone is gonna go wherever the wind goes. That's what she gonna do, flip flop, and she ain't never gonna be solid. Yes, I know her.
Well, okay. So after filming this season, which cast member do you think is going to surprise viewers the most?
For me, it was Contessa. I never saw that in her. I never saw the things that she would go and get my adversaries and try to come up against me when I was nothing but a friend to her. I cried with her on the phone at night. You know what I'm saying? I gave her advice. But after I asked her, was it okay? You don't dog your man and stay with him. You just don't do that. And that was the advice I gave her. I said, listen, if you're going to stay with the man, you can't dog him on TV and off TV and all that and stay with him. You're looking like a damn fool. She took that advice, used it because she stopped doing that, and then got mad at me for giving it to her. She's the one that would surprise you the most.
Wow. Okay. I believe it. I mean,
and this energy is real. Like, that was my fucking friend.
Yeah, no, and that's even with you, you know, your longevity on the show. You've given us that from day one, you know, and that's why, regardless of, you know, the ups and downs that you have friendship wise, to me, you still get the respect because it's like you're standing in your truth. And I always say that if I stand in my truth, you know, you might disagree, but I'm speaking my truth. And I can explain how I'm feeling. And I think you do that every time. So
that's what I try to do. I try to use my words.
You have a strong personality and so outspoken that I think it's the thing to do to go after you, you know, for the show.
That's not a good idea on TV for you to do that. I'm going to just tell you early. It didn't go well.
Well, I know you are a very busy woman. You have so many different things going on. Do you have any other projects coming up?
You know, people always say I'm busy, but I think, and this is just my opinion, I'm the most balanced person here. On the show, I work 9 to 2, 3 days a week. I take off about a week every month to go traveling with my daughter or whoever, you know what I mean, to work on different things. Heavenly Beauty, I ain't really involved in that. That's my daughter's thing. You know, I'm involved, don't get me wrong, but I have more free time than most, except now because we're promoting the show, you know. But I love my life. I would not change anything. I'm very excited about every day. I try hard to be my best. I'm not perfect. I fall down every day, but I pick myself up, you know, and I pray, meditate every morning, and I go get it, drink my coffee, and I try to go get it. And I try to inspire others to do the same.
Well, you just inspired me. I was manifesting everything you were saying. I was like, okay, 3 days a week, 9 to 2, a month off vacation. I am claiming it.
Do it. Plan your weeks, plan your years, plan your months, and plan your life, actually.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Heavenly. It's been such a pleasure. I love you on the show. I love you even more talking to you in person. And season 9.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.